And I stand here before this hollow chamber to tell you, Mr. President, that most of the people I confirm from my own state, Taraba, the beneficiaries were across board. There is nobody that tell me that when they were given this money, they selected APC and left PDP. So I want to beg this hollow chamber and distinguished colleagues, let's do the needful and give the MD, the nominee of the Mr. President, an opportunity and cooperation to do what she knows how to do best. Thank you, Mr. President.
So will you leave the commendations? If there's anybody with a question, Senator Umeh, you have a question?
Thank you, Mr. President. Distinguished colleagues, my name is Senator Victor Umeh. I represent Anambra Central Senatorial District. Mr. President, the nominee is well experienced, no doubt. I'm very pleased with her profile of service. But from her CV, there was something I saw that agitated my mind. That's why I've been seeking this opportunity. Madam Nominee, you had in your last appointment the duties to deliver 5,000 naira by monthly targeted cash transfer to 2 million homes across 613 local governments in 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. When I saw that, I knew that Nigeria has 774 local governments. So I did a calculation and saw that 161 local governments were not covered in their duties in trying to make this money available to the poor people. I would like to know from you why 161 local governments were not covered. Because it lends credence to what some people had raised as issue here, that this money should be available to all and sundry within the bracket. The money is meant to alleviate their sufferings. You put it on record that you were able to do that in 613 local governments, and 116 local governments were not covered. What was the reason for that? That's my question. And I know that, no doubt, given the opportunity, you have the experience to run a transparent thing. Why were 161 local governments not captured in your previous assignment? Thank you very much.
Victor Umeh, I think if you add the 6 area councils in the FCT, she probably left out 167, not 161, because outside the 774, we have 6 area councils in the FCT that will take the number to 780, because they are also treated as local governments. You understand? So that would mean that she has to explain why she left out 167. Senator Izona, Leader of the Senate. Yes, point of order, Senator Umeh.
Thank you, Mr. President. Order 41, matter of urgent public importance. The matter for discussion shall, if possible, be referred to the Senate before commencement of the day's sitting, and the President of the Senate shall refuse to allow the claim unless he is satisfied that the matter is definite and urgent. And then 51, notice shall not be dispensed with in the case of a motion or in respect of any other proceeding for which notice is required except with the consent of the President of the Senate and the general assent of the senators present. Mr. President, during the screening of the nominee for the appointment to the position of coordinator, social investment program. In the question and answer session, so many revelations were made here, which we couldn't pursue through in the course of that screening. Number one was that I asked a question on the exclusion of 167 local governments in Nigeria in the program she executed, 5,000 bi-monthly, and we discovered that from her own report contained in what she gave to us, 613 local governments were only covered, leaving a shortfall of 161 plus 6 area councils. That's 167. You noted it, Mr. President. And if you consider this, you will see that about 10 states were excluded in that program. We didn't know the local governments, we didn't know those concerned and involved. And in the course of her answer to certain questions, she also made us to understand that there were people who were paid 5,000 bi-monthly that graduated to 150,000, some to livelihood, then some to 300,000 naira. I'm aware that there was another migration to 700,000 naira. If you calculate this money, it will run into billions of naira. And a lot of Nigerians and parts of Nigerians were excluded in that program. I don't think it's something that should be left to go like that. So I want to seek your approval to bring a formal motion in the next legislative date so that we can interrogate that revelation. It's very important because we're going into Point of order. What point of order again? Let me finish now. Let me finish. You put your own. You're helping me. Okay, if I finish, you help me. So, Mr. President, I would like this Senate to interrogate those revelations. You were not happy with it. A lot of us were not happy with it. Because people were excluded. And that will not be good. We are moving into another cash transfer program of 15 million households. They experimented it with 2 million households. And 167 local governments were not captured. So this one we're going into, we need to interrogate that one to ensure that this good program of the government will reach every part of Nigeria. I wanted her to answer why those 161 local governments were excluded. She didn't answer it. You helped her by saying that there are more time to get explanations. So if you approve, Mr. President, I would like to bring a formal motion to interrogate that in the next legislative day. Thank you, Mr. President.
And it's only asking for motion. I'm not asking to do it now. It's an urgent.
It's not urgent now. Leave him now. It's point of order now. You don't even know what he wants to say. Let him say his own.
Is it a counter point of order?
The point of order brought forward by Senator Umeh is noted. A lot of revelations were made during the screening. And even if you did not seek our permission, you could still have come up with a motion for this Senate to look into it. So your point of order is actually sustained. Now, just to mention, yes, there's another point of order. What was that?
Mr. President, my name is Asuko Ekpenyong, Senator representing Cross River South. I come under Order 41, matter of urgent public importance. The matter for discussion shall, if possible, be referred to the President of the Senate before commencement of the day's sitting, and the President of the Senate shall refuse to allow the claim unless he is satisfied that the matter is definite and urgent. Mr. President, the cause of which the point of order was raised was after the business of the day had started and we had gone far. Matters of urgent public importance are brought after petitions and before the business of the day. I raised the point of order during the discussion. If it is late, I yield. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes, distinguished Senator Asuko Ekpenyong, look at section Order 52, Rule 6. Open to 52, Rule 6. Have you seen it? It shall be out of order to attempt to reconsider any specific question upon which the Senate has come to a conclusion during the session, except upon a substantive motion for rescission. So your point of order is overruled. Leader of the Senate.